on to our training tonight. We are Boss Babes, week 3. Our speaker tonight, I believe you pronounce her name as Cindy Gress. I hope I said that right. And Heidi is going to stream the video for us. I don't know if I have the right thing on my laptop to do it. So just to make sure it worked seamlessly, Heidi's going to go ahead and post that for us now.
That's not what I want.
Hello, Virgo. Welcome to
The structure
The wrong button.
is reinventing the way to experience the outdoors. The most versatile
There we go.
Well, hello, Mary Kay Beauty Consultants. In the beginning of a brand new year, I'm so excited for the possibilities that lay in front of you as an entrepreneur, that lay in front of each and every one of us as we are in control of our own destiny. When I did the little bit of research that I did for y'all today, I found out that a trailblazer was somebody different than I thought they were. I found out that a trailblazer was a person who marked a new place and space, most importantly, for themselves. Well, you did that the second, probably for most of you, you signed your Mary Kay Beauty agreement. At least that's what it was for me, a new place and space that I was willing to go, that prior to that in my life, I had never been willing to go before. What happens when that happens? You're scared, you're nervous, you're worried, you're not sure if you can do it, you're not sure about what your family and friends are going to say. What is happening? But I decided that I was going to do something different. And I decided that I didn't like people telling me what to do. And by that, I didn't mean that I didn't want people to mentor me, because I love that. By that, I didn't mean that I didn't want people to tell me what to do with respect to the success game. I love people telling me what to do when it comes to success. I hated people telling me what to do with a different agenda than I had. And that was my experience that I had working in corporate America. Was their agenda was for the company, rightfully so, and that was the top priority, rightfully so, and that I got a benefit for working for them if I did what they told me to do. But that is not what I found in Mary Kay Cosmetics. I found people who were in my success corner. Now, some of those people said things to me that I didn't want to hear. There were a bunch of things that I was like, wait, what did you just say to me? Wait, are you kidding me? Yep, all those things. But they were more successful than me, and they were sanctioned as my mentors. Now, in the Mary Kay world, it's gotten a little muddy with who our mentor is. A mentor isn't just anybody who's ahead of you who speaks to you. That is not a mentor. A mentor is someone who is invested in your welfare of being successful. And so Mary Kay kind of set it up perfectly when she first started the business, right? It was the only way I get ahead is for you get ahead. So you're always, your best mentor is going to be the highest level that you can get to in your Mary Kay family that you were recruited in. That will always be the best alignment for your success. And so they said things to me that, I didn't necessarily want to hear, but I could hear them more easily than when my boss just told me to do something because it was going to be for the benefit of the company that I worked for. So trailblazing, I just love. I love that term. I love what it means. I love what it inspires in me, that I'm willing to go to places that most people, they're just not willing to go, y'all. You know, when you have a brand new business partner, how awesome that is, that we have to talk to 4 women to have one person say yes. That means only 1 out of 4 has the courage to be a trailblazer, and that's you. So you automatically are already a trailblazer. Now, the question I think we're asking today is, how do I become a better trailblazer, a more courageous trailblazer, a person who can raise her beliefs and her hope and her joie de vivre, her joy of doing it. It's not just doing it. You have to do it joyfully and happily and be excited about it. So there were a couple of things that I did, of course, tied to a story. So I was in a place in my life when I signed my Mary Kay Beauty agreement that I was just.
Deja de estudiar inglés. Comienza a hablar inglés. Vamos a empezar a practicar inglés.
I didn't like my job. I didn't like getting up at 5:30 in the morning. I didn't like getting on the train. I didn't like coming home on the train. I didn't like the people I worked with. I didn't like a whole heck of a lot with what I was doing with the majority of my life. And I just wanted more of my life back. And so I decided that I was going to blaze a trail with Mary Kay Cosmetics. Once I found it, I was kind of halfway searching for something, but I don't even think I had enough inside of me to even really investigate anything properly. And this Mary Kay beauty consultant, what I call shanghaied me. You know, she told me she was in a contest. I ended up putting the product on my face. Once I had it on the face, I loved the product, didn't have the money for the product. She convinced me to do Mary Kay. The rest is history. It was after I signed my agreement and had the courage to tell the people that loved me that I was going to do Mary Kay and got past that part, that I decided to blaze a trail. And that happened on a very magical day, and I'll never forget it. I came home from New York City. I was about to go to my unit meeting because I was faithful there, because I knew part of blazing a trail is that I needed new strategies, because I was going to new places that I had never been before. So my strategies were not going to work. And one of the rules that they told me was to go to the meeting every single solitary week, no matter what. Mary Kay said, if you don't want to go to the meeting, you need the meeting. If you want to go to the meeting needs you. So irregardless, no matter what was happening in our life, we were supposed to go to the meeting. And I did. I only missed one meeting, which was a career conference, which I was the number one director at. And I literally gave birth to Tommy the day of career conference. So that would have been an interesting career conference for me had I gone. Anyway, I was going to my unit meeting. And real quick, I would do a quick rejudge from the morning, 5:30 in the morning, makeup application to go to my meeting. I always either had a guest or I was introducing a new business partner, and my team was there once I had gotten into Mary Kay. But at this point, I was just building the muscle of going to my meeting, but I was always bringing a guest. I didn't really have a team there yet. Anyway, I got home and my showcase was there. That's how new I was. Yes. The second meeting I went to, I had a guest. My showcase was there. Penny was to meet me at the meeting. And it was on their front porch, and I couldn't help myself. I had to open it. I just had to open the box. And when I opened the box and I flipped over the little pink lid, I realized I should close the box and just go to the meeting. It was way too much. So when I got home, I opened the box. I was very encouraged because I was just home from my unit meeting, and there was a cassette tape. And I'm going to send Karen Riddle a picture of the cassette tape. In the cassette tape, Mary Kay Ash was one of the speakers on that tape. And she talked about how important it was to see 30 faces and how that was going to bring me everything, and how I needed to keep doing that over and over and over again. Now, it was my understanding that this is just what new people did. They saw 30 faces. So there were a million trailblazers out there, but I had never blazed that trail in my life. And quite frankly, it scared me just a little bit. But I dedicated my internal self to knowing that I was never going to know if Mary Kay was going to work for me unless I blazed that trail. And by the way, side note, once I blazed it one time, I did it for the rest of my career. Mary Kay Cosmetics had to call me from the office as a national and tell me to stop doing it, because I had dedicated myself that deeply. Once I dedicated myself, well, I had to follow the strategies that the successful trailblazers were following. I was told this: go observe classes from the best people you can observe, the highest sellers, the highest recruiters. Go physically. Get on a plane, a train, an automobile, do whatever you have to do to find out what strategies the successful people are using. Make sure you show up to your success meeting and every other educational event that is put in front of you, because you never know when the $1 million idea is going to be ahead of you, and it also sharpens your skills. So I was faithful to both of those things. I studied, I mean it, I studied my flip chart. I was awesome at it. I took a couple what now would be YouTube videos and paid attention how to act my way through the skincare class. When I felt good, when I didn't feel good. How to add intonation, modulation, how to capture and captivate an audience. I studied and studied and studied, and I got better and better and better. I used strategies once I dedicated myself to that new trail. The other thing that I was willing to do that I find sometimes a lot of new people are not willing to do because they argue with success. People argue with success. They do it all the time. Is that I had to decide to change my standards. It was no longer going to be okay to show up late for things. It was no longer going to be okay to be disorganized. It was no longer, I had to organize my date book. I had to know where I was going. I had to know the addresses I was going to. I had to know where the profiles were with who the hostess was. I had to raise my standards. I had to raise my standards of what I looked like and how I dressed and how I applied makeup. I had to raise my standards of what my sales director expected of me, not what I expected of myself. I had to release my control to my sales director for her to tell me how high I should be shooting, what star I should be aiming for.
This is why I canceled my DoorDash subscription.
This is
and
so
spent
good.
a month spending way too much on DoorDash. I got bored of eating.
That's raising a standard in every single category. This is what I believe. I believe that the best is always required. The best fluctuates, right? So if you have an emergency, right? And it's a Mary Kay work day for you, but you had an emergency, you still do your best with your Mary Kay in spite of the emergency, but it might not be the best day of your Mary Kay life, because on a day that it's easier to do Mary Kay, you'll do more. But some people have a tendency to use emergencies as a reason not to do Mary Kay. I don't believe in that. I just believe in no matter what I do, I have to do my best at it when I do it. Now, sometimes a consultant who is just trying Mary Kay or just beginning with Mary Kay, they're going to say things like, well, I won't do anything until I can put my whole heart in. That's not what I'm talking about. This is my opinion. That's a cop-out. I'm saying when I have dedicated myself to do Mary Kay, when I'm supposed to do Mary Kay, I do my best. When I wrap Christmas presents, I do my best. And when I make cookies, and I don't do them so good, but I do my best. When you are willing to dedicate yourself, set your standard to be, I will be my exceptional self, my absolute very best, which by the way, no one can tell you what that is. It's an internal thing. You know when you're being your best and you know when you're not being your best. That helped me to trailblaze. And you know what else happened when I decided to do that with myself? Mentors started coming into my life. New things started growing. A whole world opened up to me that I never in a million years thought that I could ever be good at. And the byproduct of all of this stuff, standards, strategies, all those things, is then my beliefs started to upgrade. My beliefs in what I could do, my beliefs in how strong I could be. So every time I stepped out of my comfort zone and was a little stronger than the time that I was before, the next time I had to be strong, I could be even stronger than that. And I blazed a trail over there. And I kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And my belief grew more and more and more. And now I pretty much think I could do a lot of things that in a million years, I never, ever, ever, ever thought that I could do. So I dedicated myself to what Mary Kay Ash, the woman, told me I had to do to be successful. And I did that consistently without missing 1 month, every month of my life for 15 years. And I ended up as a senior national sales director who celebrates the Diamond Circle for what is now, I think, 17 years.
Wow.
What seems like such an insignificant new set of standards and beliefs and strategies, what can those things help you to trailblaze? I did not know that trail was leading to that level of success. $5 million in commissions over my career. I didn't know that trail landed to that place. Inch by inch, it is a cinch. What will you decide to believe more, to set a standard of, and to go apply strategies to your life that when you look back at it, will say, wow, what a trail I have blazed. I know you can do it.
Oh, wow. Kelly, you want to facilitate?
Thank you. So I have now watched the video twice and I got a bunch of takeaways for it. So I was just gonna kind of go through what the page says for our notes and questions or comments or whatever today. And just kind of add, I'll add a little bit for each one of the questions. And then I would like you guys to, if you feel comfortable sharing, to add stuff too. So one of the biggest takeaways I noticed on her story was, or the one thing that I liked the most, or, you know, whatever, one of those, I like how she said that if you don't want to go to the meeting, that is your sign that you need to go. And if you are excited to go to the meeting, that means the meeting needs you. So that was one of the things that I took as notes. Does anybody else want to share anything that they took?
I love what she said about how, you know, inch by inch is a cinch, yard by yard, it's hard. I don't know if she said that second part, but it's so true.
I also
Very-
loved how she said that like you can't let like emergencies create an obstacle or an excuse for you to just put your business on the back burner, because that's not what we do. And I also loved like the standard of living. Like I thought back to like when was I doing the best in my business? Well, it was in April of 2020 or 2021 when we were just like, I don't know, COVID was happening. And it was like Denise had given us that challenge to just be our best self, to show up as our best self. And that's what I did. I raised my standard of living during that time. And so that just hit me just now.
Yeah. Kelly Moore says, I love how she said, oh gosh, those comments go away fast. I love how she said, don't use the cop out. Listen to your director and do the best you can. I like that too. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? I know Vanessa can't talk, so I'll see if she's gonna chat anything.
I wrote down a couple of things because
Okay.
I liked how she talked about how, again, when we think about trailblazers, we really think about, again, people that are out there making a difference for other people. And with her definition, it's about, you know, the new place and space, most importantly for ourselves and then for others, right? And so that really kind of spoke to me, that I'm blazing the trail for myself first to then be able to lead others. And that also then led into the mentoring part of it all. About a mentor is someone that is there for your welfare. They want you to be successful. It's not just someone that's necessarily saying, here's what you do, but they're there because they want you to be successful in everything. They're not just saying, go do this, go do that, like you might find in other JOBs, so to speak, right?
Heidi says, oh, Deb says, study the flip chart, get good at presentation. And then Heidi says 30 faces a month for 15 years, created a senior national sales director. That is so simple. That's the whole point. Like, that is crazy. I mean, I wrote that one down too. on the question that says, what's your biggest takeaway? 30 faces brings you everything if you stay consistent. So, I mean, my gosh, how simple is that? Like, we say that all the time, keep it simple, sweetie, and that's what it is. 30 faces takes you places. Why did she want to blaze a new trail? What was her inspiration? I put on that her job was not fulfilling her. She was spending all that time traveling to and from work, and it was just like, you're just surviving. I always think of that movie Click with Adam Sandler. Like, you're just on autopilot through your life, and that's not what we want, to do. And then to be her exceptional self is really what was like, her inspiration. It kind of flipped the switch, and she decided to change her standard and raise her standards. Anybody else want to add anything? Does Sam have the baby? A squirrel.
We need to get it off of speaker view. I want to see the baby.
Oh, and then the baby.
Where is he? He's changed. He's so huge.
It's going to be so fun. I'm totally squirreling here for a second, but it's going to be so fun to watch all the babies. Riley had her baby on camera too.
Yeah, Riley's got
Hi,
her little baby.
So cute. Oh my gosh.
To watch all the babies growing.
Hi,
and-
Austin. Glamma. It's Glammy. I have to bond when I can.
Well, and then Riley's got her baby
Ready
on
to get a
there.
baby. So
Hey,
that's
all
the
the
cutest
babies.
little baby too. All these
Wait,
babies.
here's my kitty.
Does Celeste have her baby? I don't see her. Oh, there she is.
Oh, there's a baby. She's so cute.
Oh.
So this isn't what you asked, Kelly, but she did say something.
Promise
that
she's
her-
always eating.
Oh, it's so cute.
Okay,
It's a
Vanessa
big
just
joke.
commented. Let's see, what did she say? You have to make sure your volume's all the way off or it'll echo into our other's phone. What did Vanessa say? The switch has to be flipped and stay switched. Yes, that's true. And that kind of goes along with what Heidi mentioned about her, deciding and making that change. And, when you don't want to, and we sometimes use emergencies as like our okay to make an excuse kind of a thing, and we don't want to do that. I know I've done that, and I've had to make a couple of decisions here in my life over the last several months, especially when I was in DIQ. I had to tell my family, I'm like, I understand that our mom's health is somewhat failing, and there's several children around to pick up the slack, and I have to focus on DIQ. It's my time. I'm not going to miss this stuff anymore. And I love my mother, and I don't want anything bad to happen to her, but I can't be the first line of defense only because I live in Payette. I have other siblings to pick stuff up, and I set that tone and set that boundary with them, and it was hard for me. And luckily nothing did happen while we were doing DIQ, because I don't know how I really honestly would have probably done it in the moment of something like that, but I set that standard ahead, and my goal was to keep it as a boundary.
I wanted to say one thing, Kelly. It's not specific to that, but just in case we don't remember, she talked about, instead of talking to sister consultants or somebody who's where you are or not where you are, or a family member that knows nothing about Mary Kay, to talk about, what should you do, or advice of, talk to somebody who's where you want to be. And that is always what we've been taught, is always go up the chain of command, so to speak. Because pretty soon you can start to commiserate and talk each other in and out, and keep, I've seen this happen at times in the way in the past in my unit, where people would kind of keep each other in a holding. Oh, you're not doing it? Okay, then it's okay if I don't do it either, kind of thing. Oh, you've got that going on, or you're going to wait. But sometimes too, Gloria always said it this way: it's okay to be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. So reach up to somebody who's accomplished what it is that you're wanting. It doesn't have to be your director. It could be somebody that is your recruiter. If your recruiter isn't, in the place that you want to be, then you can reach up to your director or your senior director or whatever. But that's something that was really, really emphasized in Mary Kay, is talk to people who are where you want to be, hang out with people who are where you want to be. you become like the 5 people that you spend the most time with in your life. And don't take advice from anyone you wouldn't trade places with. So those are just a few things that she didn't say that, but she kind of alluded to it. Talk to somebody who's where you want to be.
I liked how she did say observe top sellers, top recruiters, keep studying and use strategies. She always, I mean, she said that. She was like, however you have to do it to get there, get there. Which was really cool. And let's see, what was that comment that just came through?
Yes, Audrey.
Yes, Jackie said I liked that, raising your standards. And Audrey said, guard your circle of influence, take advice only from those who you would exchange places with. Yep. And anybody else have anything they want to add to it? I want to make sure everybody has a chance to talk if they want to. Okay, shall we pivot and switch over to seminar takeaways?
Yes.
Yay!
And I want to start with one thing with this is we did give a challenge out. So I know that sometimes we've done it for the people who go to seminar, but we did it for people who didn't go to seminar. So we need to know who met that challenge, who took this, because we brought back little goodies for you. So let me get on a different view here so I can see everybody. Did anybody complete the seminar challenge while we were away? Raise your hand.
Sandy Kellogg did, I think, most of it. We're following up tomorrow and she'll give me her final answers. I missed that comment on the message.
Let's talk about how good Kelly looks in that new jacket.
Oh, Celeste, I love you.
Always, Kelly. You look so amazing in it. I'm so proud of you.
I feel pretty in it. And I guess we're on the seminar. So this is the little flower thingy that I got at the state, what is it called, Denise?
When you did your new director oath on stage,
Yeah.
your director debut on stage? Yeah.
Yes.
Do you want to start? I mean, because I know that usually we start with the person that's new.
So Jackie, I'm going to flip the computer around or the screen around because Jackie and Kelly are both here with me in person.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
I'll just apologize ahead of time if my dogs bark.
Okay.
So you're in the... Yeah, I did. Oh, sorry. I just facial Jackie for those of you guys who didn't know. So she does not have makeup on and that's okay. I accepted it because I just facialed her.
Yes.
Well, hello, everybody.
Hi.
So I already shared some of what I'm going to share with both the Kellys. This seminar has been so life-changing for me and so inspiring and
Go ahead, keep going. Just let me see your phone.
And very, very healing. I think the highlight for me being at seminar is being there with both Kelly and our team members. Both Kelly and Kelly stood beside me when I was going through what I would call a storm in my life. And they were the sunshine in my life when I needed it. And so they were very uplifting and inspiring. And I believe that Mary Kay is also going to add to that sunshine to my life along with all of you other ladies. And I loved getting to spend some time with April and Heidi and Denise and getting closer and getting the bond with everybody else. And everybody is just so loving and accepting each other where we're at in our life and so supportive no matter what. And I want to give Mary Kay my all and give back to what has been given back to me or what has been filtered into me with Kelly when I was going through a hard time in my life. And I believe that Mary Kay is going to just not only be an asset to my life, but I want to give back and empower other women. To hear the success stories of a lot of other women where they were at and very broken and where they're at now and just really inspired me. And I want to, by this time next year, I want to be a red jacket. Just like,
yay!
Jackie, when we were walking to class, do you mind if I share what you said to me?
Yeah, go ahead.
She said, you know, I get it. She goes, what I shared earlier about you don't really get the feeling until you go and you can't even fathom or experience it. But she said, you know, I got into Mary Kay and now Mary Kay's in me. I want to do this full time.
Yes.
So what was that about? Tell everybody kind of what made that, what flipped that switch for you. Sorry, Kelly, I didn't mean to take over. I just
No, you're good.
what she said.
Just hearing everybody else's success stories and just because a lot of them came from a lot of situations way worse than me and were how they came out of their junk and they're shining stars and I want to be a shining star in other people's lives and I can already see a difference and so can Kelli and my daughter, they can already see a transition in me probably the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And I want to continue that growth. So I'm kind of speechless right now.
Do you think of anything else that you want to share, you know, after everybody has a chance to share? Because sometimes it's not just a thing that you heard in a class or with the speech. It is the feeling that is hard to bring it back and really explain it. So if you think of anything else, though, like a little takeaway or something you want to put into action, or if you solidified a goal or a vision, feel free to share.
Well, I think my goal is that I want to work very hard to be a red jacket by this time next year.
Okay.
And sooner if I can make it happen.
Wonderful. What about Kelly Moore? Are you ready to share?
Yep. You're on your phone, right? So I'm gonna mute mine. Okay, she's gonna unmute her phone and I'm gonna mute mine.
Okay.
So
Hi.
go.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I still love it. This was my second seminar, and I was telling Jackie on the plane and on the way back, and her being my roomie, we were able to take a lot of aha moments and things you just hear differently. You know, from the first time I went, I was so new too. Just a couple months in, it was like, oh yeah, this is good. I love it. But now being in it for a year, it's like it took it to my heart of what I want and what I need in my life. And so it's like I told Jackie, it's in my blood, it's in my veins now. And so I'm excited to see all the work that Kelly has put into it. And I know I can do the same things. It was, you know, it took a while for me to get going just with stuff, you know, with, you know, home and, you know, my medical stuff and all this death in my family. And so it kind of put a pause on things, but now I'm ready to just keep that momentum going from, you know, becoming the red jacket in June. And I don't want to lose that focus. And so I want to keep going. And my next goals is going for director.
And she's out. Same thing with you, Kelly. If there's anything that you come to or that comes up for you that you want to share, we'll circle back around. All right. You want to go, Kelly?
Okay.
Okay.
So this, of course, was a different experience. You know, each year there's different experiences and there's different takeaways. And I've been in a different season in several of the different seminars. And so this year I got to experience it from the eyes of a brand new director. And so it was really fun for me to watch their excitement. Kelly went last year. She was fairly new. She was just learning it all. She was just taking it all in. And then to watch her come back this year and have her own team member with her and just watch her, you know, leading the way for her team member and, you know, being there to support our new baby unit and just the unity that the three of us together and growth and the fun. You know, it's like those in between moments. I mean, the speakers are amazing. The format this year I thought was amazing. I actually kind of preferred this format to the ones that we've had in different years. You know, they spent so much money. I mean, to really sit there and think about the amount of money that they had to put into this event to get everything on the road. I mean, they brought the cars, you guys. They had all of the same stuff in Expo. There was not anything really like missed or skimped, and our cost to it didn't change. And so, you know, there was a couple of little hiccups that happened, which is to be expected. It's a new place, and they're learning different things. And so I really wanted to focus on the change was positive and happy, and you know, the little hiccups weren't that big of a deal, and I'm sure they've got those kinks worked out for like the next two that are going to be there this week and stuff. But the overall feeling was the same, the excitement, the performances, the entertainment, the speakers. I mean, all of the stuff was there. And not only did they have all that extra expense of, you think about all of the people from Texas who had to travel to North Carolina. So now they have all this travel time to pay for these employees. They probably have overtime for hourly employees. They're going to have lodging. They're going to have to pay for meals in addition to just all the other stuff. The prizes didn't go down. The cost didn't change for us. We didn't have our one free lunch on the one day, but they had other venues or other places to get those things, and they were pretty good pricing, you know. It was amazing. And then to have all of that on top of it, and then they're juggling two different seminars to be there at the same time, yet have individual experiences. I mean, it was just phenomenal, the amount of work and juggling and change that had to go into it, and how blessed we are in this company that the corporate people did all of that. I mean, they could have so easily been like, oh, we're going to go virtual this year, we're going to keep costs down, or we're going to raise your cost or whatever. And you know, it wasn't like that. So from like on a personal level, for people who've been to seminar before with me, you know, I've had headaches that have prevented me from seeing everything, or like I have to leave early in the night, or sometimes I've been late showing up. And I made a commitment, you know, you talk about turning that switch. I made the commitment that no matter what, I was going to be the director that my team deserves. And I was there, I was up early, I was there hopefully, you know, most of the time like ahead of time. I didn't miss anything, and I just really wanted, you know, to be there for them. And then my new director experience class was so amazing, and there's so much stuff that I'm not supposed to share, but I am going to share some of it. So we're going to do a training here soon at some point in time. I don't know when, but I want to talk about what I learned about how to communicate with Generation Z. And so I did get permission from Denise to share this with everybody. So that is to come, but I'm super excited about that part of it. But for specifically with the new director experience, so they are like legit with that. So you're not allowed to record anything. You can't take videos of anything. You can't talk about anything in there, and you can't show anybody any of the stuff other than like the photo ops that we were able to take, because they don't want anybody to know what's going on in there because they haven't earned it. So, I mean, I got tons of gifts in there, and there was 3 nationals. I will say Jessica Bear, Mary Kay, her great-granddaughter did get a speak, and then there was 3 nationals. And I mean, wow, talk about crazy. It was awesome. Oh, we had punch and cookies. We had all kinds of like photo ops in there, and like these beautiful director gifts that are exclusive to this new director experience. So we have NSDs, which are national sales directors, and now we have NDE, which is new director experience. Okay, somebody else can talk.
You know what, Kelly? It was so fun to see you. I want to just kind of ditto what you said, or I guess put an exclamation point on it, that you were committed to being there, you know, early, having arrangements made. Mike, of course, was great, you know, having cars ordered and all of that kind of thing, because we did have to Uber back and forth. But, you know, watching you, you know, basically step up to a whole new level the entire time. And, you know, still sometimes you're still kind of learning because you're excited, because, you know, now you're moving out of the receiver of everything stage, but you did receive a lot. And did you show your ring? Did you show your ring? Guys, it's so pretty. We both got them and it was so funny. You probably saw the picture.
Oh yeah, you're closer to yours. Mine's over here, but I got it.
You
And
see it? It's so much prettier than, you know, and sometimes I've taken the cash instead of the ring, but this is absolutely gorgeous. But it was so funny. There was a moment we were getting pictures and Dennis and Mike were holding him, taking pictures, and then Mike got down on one knee, pretending like he was proposing to Dennis. Oh my gosh, they just really had fun. They were just goofballs, and you know, so that was, I got off track from what I was trying to say. But you know, watching you kind of move into a new level and to really look at, okay, not just what am I receiving, but I want to do that for people. And I did see a lot of your communication with your girls, and I just felt like you really, really showed how ready you were to take that lead in that position, and you're taking it seriously. And, you know, this is just, it's not a stopping point. It's kind of a launch pad for the bigger dream for you and your girls. And you don't have to see national right now. Sometimes you don't see that, but you see the next thing and, you know, building leaders, and you've got some great people to work with. So anyway, congratulations, because of you, oh my gosh, I got these Gucci necklace and bracelet. So pretty, just so dainty and beautiful because of the fact that you got your ticket. And it was so fun getting to debut you on the big stage with all the directors. And Heidi gets to do that now because she didn't get to do that before because COVID was happening. So anyway, I didn't mean to take over and start sharing because I really want Heidi to share, but I really wanted to kind of brag you up a little bit because I did notice a really big shift in everything with you, and, you know, focusing outward and looking at, you know, who can you build up next. So it's a growing thing. It's a learning curve, and it's a shift that you go through from being the top dog and receiving everything to then turning that on over to the next people. So yeah. All right. I'm sure we'll probably have more. Heidi, I think April said she just finished, so I'm hoping she can get on too.
Yeah, I just want to ditto what Denise just said to you, Kelly, because literally it was like night and day difference in just the way that you showed up, not just for your team members, but also for yourself. And I think that as a leader, we have to show up for ourselves first. And you really did that a lot. And it was so cool to see. And it was like, I don't know, it was awesome. I was really proud of you and your team for being there. Like, I think it's so much fun to have team members go to seminar with you. It just is a totally different experience when you get to be a director. Then you've got your, you know, your chickadees is what I call my girls, like with me, you know, and I get to like show them all the fun stuff, and it's a lot of fun. So it was fun to watch you do that. And so lots of you know that I'm in a completely different place in my life than I was last year at seminar. In fact, it was so much that I didn't even want to go. And I really like self-sabotaged being able to go until a few weeks before. Like, I didn't even have my plane ticket, you guys. Like, I had my registration, and that was it. It was like, well, if I'm out that money, that's okay. Because I was ashamed and embarrassed of where I am in my business because of where I have been. And I really had to let that go. And our very first speaker that we got to hear from was at the Mary Kay National Area rally, and it was Holly Lowe. And I actually posted her YouTube link onto the Inspired National group so that you guys can go listen to it because it was phenomenal. And she talks about, she's just very transparent. She talks a lot about how she's not where she wanted to be this year and how she didn't want to come to seminar. Like, she's just like, you know, we're not where we're supposed to be. And that's speed of leader, speed of the gang, right? And she knows that she didn't do the work. And it really hit me in a way that was like, it doesn't matter what level you're at, like, life happens. And it is so fitting for Cindy Grass to say what she said today, because like, we can let these things happen in our life and we can let them be speed bumps, or we can let them stop us completely. And we just need to work through that and learn how to pivot. And anyways, I'm really excited that I went because it was so much fun. And it was a little different being in Charlotte and having a smaller group, but like, the intimacy of getting to know each other was there. And that's always what I love about seminar. Like, everything else is great, the glitz and glam and, you know, the bouginess and getting dressed up and all that stuff is fun. But really, it's about being with our people that I love the most. And we still got to do that. So it was amazing. And then just watching, you know, Kelly show up for her girls and for herself, that was really, really cool to watch. And I'm excited for next year. I know that I've got Celeste and Riley and Jasmine who all want to go next year. And I am so motivated to get back into my pink jacket. My goal is I need 4 more active team members to go back into DIQ August 1st. So that's what I'm focused on right now. And seeing faces. And I just love how every time you go to seminar, like it's like Jackie said, like she got into Mary Kay, then Mary Kay got into her. That happened to me my first time at seminar as well. But it's almost like that re-happens every single time you go. So like it doesn't matter what level you're at in Mary Kay or like how much belief or conviction you have, you're gonna get more. So like you can be fully all in and all excited about your business and doing really well and you can be on top and you're still going to get even more motivated when you go. And it just confirms for me to like never miss a company event no matter what. And, you know, just show up and be there because when we show up, we go up, right? Whether it's a meeting or whether it's retreat this fall or career conference or seminar, it doesn't matter. And like I said to Kelly at the beginning, when we show up for ourselves, like it's just so beautiful. And I think that everybody like I think that women in general tend to not show up for themselves and we make it a point to show up for everybody else. And I'm really learning that this year, how to just put myself first and show up for myself so that I can show up for other people because sometimes I don't do that. But those were all things that I had from seminar and there's tons of things from takeaways, but like from each of the speakers was so beautiful. I loved seeing Ruby and Diamond come together. That was really great. And I know that it was Ruby's last seminar as a division themselves, and a lot of them are going to Diamond and Emerald. And that was emotional for them. But like getting to hear the nationals and the top directors from their seminar, we don't usually get to hear that. It's usually just us. And so we got like double the speakers, which was phenomenal. And then I also just loved that the company didn't let life happen to them. They decided that they were going to bring seminar to us no matter what, because they could have easily said, let's make this a general session, just like they did during COVID. And let's just put it on hold. And they didn't do that. They brought it for us and they brought it in so many beautiful ways. And the changes, like everybody else said, the changes that they made to like the schedule and awards were wonderful. It was perfect. And I think they need a lot of kudos for that because it was pretty good. And I know I'm forgetting lots of things, but it was good. I'm glad I went.
Yeah. And I mean, there's always lots of reasons that can keep you from going, but you made the commitment. And the one thing I want to say about you, Heidi, too, is that I want to go back to Kelli more because it was really cute and really fun to watch her, you know, surround her team member, Jackie, and lead her around and, you know, be that mentor for her. It's like it's top down. You really see the sisterhood and the lineage and the support, which really that's the most special thing about this sisterhood that we have is, you know, you're taking that role on now and you're definitely ready. I know that you're right now in red and you have big goals. And she said, I will be up there. I'm going to be on the court of sales and I'm going to be a director next year at this time. And I believe that you will. I've always seen you that way since I first met you. So I wanted to say that. And Jackie, you know, watching you kind of like eyes wide open, like, oh my gosh, you know, just kind of mouth hanging open, like, wow. You forget how it is sometimes the first time you ever went to seminar and what you experienced. And she says, I have nothing to compare it to, you know, when you hear people talking about, well, normally they do it this way, or in the past they've done it this way. So she says, I have nothing to compare it to, but it's awesome. And so that was fun. And Heidi, and Kelli, I talked a lot about you already, but Heidi, watching you go into manifestation madness the 2 weeks before with that $1,800 week and, you know, you had this happen and, you know, you sold this and like all these things started happening for you. And that is how it is, you guys. With the moment you make a commitment to something, providence shows up. The universe starts throwing things at you to make it happen. And so never question your ability. If, you know, Sheila used to say, if you say I can't afford it, or if you know, basically, if you argue for your limitations, you will own them. But she would always say, if you say you can't afford it, you're telling me that you're not willing to work for it. And so, I mean, she said it a lot sterner than that because we have that ability in Mary Kay. If we've got product on our shelf, we have an opportunity. We have something that, you know, we can instantly make money. We're not waiting for a paycheck for the end of the month. And I really watched you do that. And again, just graciously stepping into red from directorship. I know that's not easy. I know it hasn't been easy in times when April's done it. So I've always admired her so much for never giving up and staying in the fold. She's been texting me back and forth. I don't know if she's going to make it on, but just watching your grace with that, even though sometimes you're just sitting there kind of ticked. You know, I was anyway at certain times when I didn't reach a goal. But that's the moments that shape you, when you don't give up, when you don't give in, and you just go, I'm going to use this as kind of a stepping stone to the next level. So anyway, kudos to all of you.
Can I add something really quick? That just made me think of
Yeah,
something?
I knew you guys would have more stuff to share.
I don't remember if this is in her book or if we've seen it on a video or something, but I remember there was something that Mary Kay went to in the very beginning. I think she was selling the books or the encyclopedias or something. I can't remember. And she went to some kind of company event and she had like no money. And she took like a pound of like a cheese block or whatever. And
Yeah.
cheese and crackers. And that's like all she ate during the thing. And I mean, that's the kind of like showing up and making a decision that this woman tonight, Cindy Gress, was talking about. Like, that's the shift we're talking about. There's no more excuses and there's no more of the limiting beliefs and the things that we can't do. Like, she went, and I think she had like one outfit maybe or something too. I think she wore like the same thing the whole trip. And so it's like we don't have anything to complain about or like say we can't do something. I mean, she went to this whole thing and it was all men. And she was like the only woman there. So like, we can do this.
Yeah. And I mean, it's no matter what, even if we didn't have as many free meals or whatever, you guys, they did this in 6 months, less than 6 months. They announced this at leadership. That's when they found out. They knew that at some point, like within the next year or so, that we would have to go off site. Because they knew they were going to be redoing the convention center in Dallas, but they reneged on their contract with Mary Kay, you guys. Don't be mad at the Dallas Convention Center, but they did what they did, and they literally had less than 6 months to pull together an actual seminar and a location and all the things that it takes to make that happen. And they work on that years ahead of time. So again, just showed the excellence of what our company is. And I feel like we are in such good hands with Ryan at the helm and all of that. And, you know, I forgot, they always do a giveaway. You know, we pay $200 and we get, you know, 100 and some dollars in product, and they spend millions of dollars. They spend millions of dollars to put this on that is not recovered because they want to do that for us instead of going virtual. But since we haven't really talked about it, they announced it at seminar, so I know it's out there. And I'll just do the brief version of it. They started evaluating the retinol 0.5 and the whole retinization process and the reorder sales and the expiration date, and they listened to us. Expiration date was 2 years. There's a new one that's coming out that's retinol 0.3, and it's a single product, and it can be used day and night with no retinization product or process. I have been using it, and I use the retinol 0.5 with the milk usually still because I have sensitive skin. I've been using this day and night since seminar, and I can already tell a difference in my skin of just how soft and smooth everything is. And it's a $70 cost. And it already has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and the results that we got in 13 weeks with the higher percentage, we get in 1 week because there's no retinization, and people don't have to start over if they, you know, forget to use it for a while and have to get their skin accustomed again. So they listen to us and they increase the shelf life to 3 years. So, keeping that in mind, they really do listen. And then the Mary Kay Confident, there's going to be a new silkening dry oil coming out with that as a limited edition, which this has been a new favorite. So that was kind of fun. And then just the prizes. I forget half the time that they're giving stuff away for certain things. You know, you're just doing what you do automatically, but this was just absolutely gorgeous. I think this was for the Mary Kay National area, but it's a beautiful, beautiful necklace with pink pearls and rhinestones, and then drop earrings, which I love, with rhinestones. I can't remember what that was for. I think it was the national area. And I have 2 of the Mary Kay cookies. They did the designer cookies that are probably hard as a rock by now because I can't eat them. And then just so fun to get the sashes, and the one for our Circle of Achievement for the Glamour Girls unit. It's more of a hot pink, so that was kind of fun. And that's something that I'm super, super proud. Our unit was recognized. I didn't even know this was happening. I thought it was only at leadership, but as the most improved unit in the state of Idaho. I think it's our third or fourth time since I've been a director to do that. So congratulations to all of you. And so I got to go across stage for that, which was really fun, representing the Glamour Girls. And there was something else about that I was going to share. So yeah, the recognition is great. It's so much fun. If you've never done it, your heart's kind of beating in the back, but it's also all the people, all the celebrities that you see back there, all the corporate staff. I talked to Ryan back there. I talked to Robbie, some of the top corporate people, beautiful Kelly Collins. They're all back there just talking to you like you're just their best friend. Raul, they're like, welcome back again. So that's what you get to do. Jay Benson, I know Kelly has a crush on Jay Benson, so she got lots of Jay Benson time and experiences while she was there, which was really fun. Did we lose Kelly? Where'd she go? Is she gone? Oh, you guys are all there together. Okay, gotcha. So
I'm here. I just turned the camera so Jackie could see more,
okay.
and I would just listen from behind.
Oh, okay.
But I do
Okay.
have to say, Jay Benson announced my name on stage.
Not only that, he gave you when you got your name badge, he was the new sales director, got everybody going. So that was kind of fun too. There's just so many things that just make you feel uplifted and good, being around everybody there. And the company really, there's no hierarchy. They are there for us. There's just such a culture of that. The classes were phenomenal. They always are. And it's so fun. I've been in Mary Kay a long time, and I'm also proud of the Glamour Girls unit. This is our 34th year. I think every single full year since we've been a unit, we've made unit club. And so I thought we were going to have not as good as seats, kind of far back because of the fact that we did 400,000 instead of 450. But we had really pretty decent seats, especially because it was huge, thousands of people. I don't even know how many because they combined Ruby with us this year. But you would never know it. It didn't last forever. It didn't take forever. They made it work in a way that we didn't feel the changes as much as we probably should have. And then it was so fun. We went to this for our area dinner, this Mexican restaurant the last night. And, they have this photographer there taking your pictures, trying to get you to buy them. And I did buy this one, but it was just super colorful and fun. And it's those experiences. We didn't have the Omni, but we did have great French fries and onion rings. And we had this 24-hour diner across the street that had the most unbelievable food. I think we went there 2 or 3 times. And, when we did the offsite stuff. So there's always so much. I was hoping that maybe April would be able to get on, but the classes, what I was starting to say is I've been in a long time in Mary Kay, and I'm absolutely loving hearing from all these millennials, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. I don't even know what they all are, but we did have a class on that too. And they really, really are encouraging more social media engagement. You would think there's a lot because I get a lot of it because I'm in Mary Kay as far as my algorithms, but they really are encouraging us to do more and more. And they talked about us not being multi-level, how we're dual marketing, but how they are actually, right now, they're actually paying some, influencers out there to use and promote our product. And everybody was like, what? Because that's what it takes to reach those millions and millions of people in the audiences. But they said the very best way to do it is through our sales force, through us getting on there and doing posts and reels. So there's always so much training. Mary Kay is very progressive in that. I don't know if I said this, but that new retinol product already has the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. So they do rigorous testing. So there's so many things that I always want to share. But
can I add something really quick too?
Yes, please do. Please do.
I love that Ryan got up there and was like, in so many people in so many different ways told us to never worry about Mary Kay being an affiliate marketing. Our business plan is never going to change. Well, there's been lots of changes for other companies. We are going to stay exactly as we are. And things are going to just keep getting better and better. And they actually brought up e-commerce. So there's going to be
Yep.
Yeah, so there's going to be some e-commerce that happens, and I think that's coming this fall. And they're also giving our personal websites an upgrade too. So there's lots of good things happening to keep us up with Gen Z and Gen Alpha, because Gen Alpha is going to be buying product before you know it. And so we just have a lot of great things coming. But like Denise was saying, being present on social media is so important. And I know that there's going to be a training for that coming up in our future, because Jamie Taylor had said that the nationals were told that Mary Kay's brand awareness for Gen Z is at an all-time low. Like Gen Z just doesn't even know that we exist. And so the way for them to know that we exist is through social media, because they're not looking in the yellow pages the way Gen X did, right? And so really being present, which just means sharing your life. You know, it can be as simple as sharing your stories, as simple as sharing what somebody else is doing. Like if you see a post of mine that you like, share it. It's okay to share it. It doesn't take business away from either one of us. It's getting brand awareness out there, because that is more important than anything else. And
So
Mary Kay US has like an amazing TikTok. So if you're on TikTok and you go in, you can share all of their reposts, their TikToks. That's going to help with the brand awareness as well.
yeah, and that's where you guys, that's where there's more money in this Gen Z? No, Gen X. I don't know. I get mixed up on which ones are which, but I think it's Gen Z. There's much more disposable income. There's more millionaires, there's more entrepreneurs, there's more people with disposable income in this up and coming generation, and because of a lot of these social platforms. So anyway, Mary Kate, they're so progressive. They never look back. So I feel very, and then, okay, so I'm going to kind of wrap it up with this, unless anybody has anything else, of how they really talked about how our marketing plan is not changing. Yes, they're going to be doing some other things to collaborate to be able to give us more brand awareness, but it's not going to change the model. They're never going to go work around the sales force in a retail type of a model, or even an online platform where anybody else is getting the sales. And basically what they said with the influencers too, they're not getting paid. They will never be able to sell the product unless they actually join the company, right? And do it that way as a consultant. So, but they're doing it, they're paying them to get the brand awareness out there to this generation. So they just kind of described the difference of what we might be thinking that they're doing, and reminded us, again, there's been many companies that have fallen. I think we're one of only 200 that started when we did in direct sales that is still standing. And I want to say maybe Avon was one of the other ones, and it's also gone through, or maybe it was Amway, but a lot of them have gone through lots and lots of changes in how they do their marketing and compensation. Ours is not changing. The compensation is not changed, and we've never been paid more than we are right now in commissions, bonuses, recruiting commissions, and all of that. So Avon is going through bankruptcy. Yes, that's what I had heard. So anyway, having said all of that, get a goal. You guys, were just a couple days away from finishing this first month of our seminar year. And so we're going to have to, some of us cram a 12-month goal into 11 months, but get clear about what you're wanting. Talk to your recruiter, talk to your director. If there's something that you would like to accomplish, we want to support that, because this year we all have major growth goals. You'll be getting more information soon about the retreat and upcoming other events that we're going to be doing, but we have big plans for this area to continue to grow and expand and power up. Okay, all right. Anybody have anything, any last minute things that you remember that you want to share? I know we've gone over.
I do have a motivational close.
Okay.
Okay, I have to toggle to the other screen, so if I look dark, that's why, or whatever. Okay, be the reason why someone feels included, welcomed, valued, listened to, supported, and loved.
Love that. All right, everybody. Month end is in 2 days. Get out there and do something, sell something. Let us know what you need help with, and have a wonderful, fantastic week. And track your points for your boss, babe. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Night.
Night.